Is there a good way to get a good picture in your mind of what a roadbed looks like on the bottom of the lake? It's covered with water. It may have 10, 15, 20 foot of water, so it just looks like the rest of the lake out there to you. Is there a good way to understand what that thing really looks like to be able to find the best places to fish on that roadbed? Good morning, guys and girls. April 29, about shot the covey on April. 30 days says September, April, June, and November. So we've only got one more day left in this month, April 29, and we turn the calendar over to May. Isn't it amazing? Things are greening up all around. It's just absolutely getting beautiful. And the trees are not quite full yet here in southern Oklahoma, which it seems to me like they should be, but they're getting there. They're getting there. Pecan trees, we got a lot of here on this ranch. They're some of the latest ones to go in there. But today we're looking at Hebrews 11:1, Hebrews 11:1. Faith means being sure of things we hope for. Did you ever wonder what the definition of faith was? That's it right there. Faith means being sure of the things that we hope for. We're sure of that. That's faith. And knowing that something is real, absolutely knowing, being 100% positive that something is real, even if we can't see it. Even if we can't see it. Something is real, even though we can't see it. Let's see what I wrote about that, because that's really important. Faith was really, really important to Jesus as he worked this earth. He got on to a lot of his closest friends for the lack of faith. No doubt we have a lot of lack of faith ourselves because we don't completely trust Jesus. We don't completely trust God to handle all of our situations the way that he actually can. Here's what I wrote about that. We mentioned creek channels. The easiest way to get a mental picture of an underwater creek or a roadbed is with 10 or 12 marker buoys. A marker buoy is just a floating buoy that you got a string tied to, goes down to a weight, so you pitch it over the side of the boat, unwinds, weights on the bottom, the marker buoy stays right there. Get your 10 or 12 marker buoys, crisscross back and forth over that creek, and drop a buoy each time you cross it. So you take your boat, you're looking at your fish locator, your fish finder, and you look at your Garmin down vision. It's not forward vision here, you're looking at a Garmin down vision, and you're looking at that, and when you crisscross that creek, when you cross it, drop a marker buoy. You can drop it in the deepest part of the creek, you can drop it on the creek bed, doesn't matter, but try to drop all of them in the same area. If you're going to drop it at the bottom of the creek, drop them all. When the creek falls off into the deep water, drop them all right there. If you're going to drop it on the edge, drop it all of them on the edge. The easiest probably is going across that creek, dropping it when it drops off. Back across it, drop one. Back across it, drop one. Use 10 or 12 marker buoys, just crisscross back and forth across that creek. Use your fish locator, only to drop your buoy when you drop off in there. Quickly, you have that creek or roadbed laid out with buoys on top of the water. You've got it laid out on top of the water. You just simply, there it is right there. Now, you know what it looks like. You know how that creek bends. You know where the turns are, where it goes straight for a long way, where it turns back. You know all that. Now you can easily see the key areas to fish. Key areas on creek beds are where they have a brush pile on them. Key areas are where they make an outside bend. You got an outside bend, an inside bend every time that creek turns. Those are the key areas. You can take, now that you got it laid out, you can take your boat and you just go from buoy to buoy to buoy and you're running down that creek. Now anytime you see some structure of some kind down there, like maybe that creek's got a bridge going across it. Maybe it's got a big brush pile in the middle of it. You can drop another buoy on that structure or that you want to fish. I would use different color buoy for that. You might have yellow buoys. You want bright colored buoys, obviously. You might have bright yellow buoys, and then you might want to drop a red buoy or an orange buoy for where you got a spot that you want to stop and fish. This increases our faith in this particular structure. Now we've got a good mental picture of this particular piece of structure, and we've got more faith that we can fish that piece of structure correctly and catch fish there. Much more faith. So, I'm not sure that there's a shortcut to real faith in Jesus. This is a shortcut that we're using to be able to have more faith in fishing that creek successfully. I'm not sure if there's any shortcut to real, honest to goodness faith in Jesus Christ. If there is, we can think about the fact that God chose us. God chose you and me, and he's working in us and for us every single day. The Bible tells us that over and over. God is working in us. He puts his Holy Spirit in it, and he's working for us. He's setting the right people up. He's setting the right situations up. He's working all things together for our good. That's what the Bible tells us. So that's one way to increase your faith, is to realize that and realize that God chose you. God chose you. God chose me, a simple redneck fisherman from Oklahoma. God chose me to be a child of the Most High God. God chose me to be a son of God, a son of God. He didn't choose me because I'm great. He chose me because he loved me. He chose me because he loved me. And he loves you. He chose you because he loved you. So that will increase your faith if you'll just dwell on that a little bit. We don't see God. That's the thing about it. We don't see God. But we see the results of his presence. Man, all I need to do is just look any direction right now. I can see the results of the presence of holy God. Just like we're not really seeing that creek. We're only seeing marker buoys. But we know the creek is there. We know that creek is there. I see God's work. I see God's work all around me, all around me. And I know that Jesus is right here with me. I know that Jesus is right here. I have faith in Jesus. You know, I've had a few comments on our social media about my beautiful Chris not walking again. She'll never walk again, Jimmy. She'll never walk again. I've had several of you come, not a whole lot, but a few of you. Most of you have the same faith I have, that she will walk again. I have faith that Chris is going to walk again. I believe that. Why? Because I know my God is capable of that. I know he's got the power to let her walk. I just don't know when. I just know when. I believe, I have faith that it's his will to let her walk. And I can't wait for that day. I'm anxious for that day. Here's our tip for today. Crawdads. Crawdads. That's right. Crawdads will reappear in the early fall as food for the fish. Crawfish, mama crawfish burrow up here in Oklahoma and Louisiana, the southern part of the United States. They burrow up, make mounds. You see crawfish mounds around on the bank to have babies. A mama crawfish has about 300 babies. Now, so they disappear from the lake since they're in the ground. They disappear from the lake in July, August, September. Early fall, they come back out. They come back out of those dens. And depending on where you are, that depends on when they come back. Early fall, they become, again, great fish, bait for fish. Great food for the fish to eat. So, great time to throw crawfish colored crankbaits. Obviously, early in the year, we know that. But also, great to throw those crawfish colored baits in the early fall. The early fall, when they first reappear back in the water, they start swimming around. Crawfish can breathe just as well out of the water as he can in the water. He can live his life out there on the bottom all fall long and not have any problem at all. He can live his life in that hole in the ground, having babies all summer, no problem. So they're an incredible animal that can live above ground, above water, and underwater just as well. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one. Fish lucky, and remember, I sure do love you.